I'm a 39-year-old guy, and I've been married to my wife, Megan, who's 36, for 15 years. We've got a 13-year-old son together. My family includes my 58-year-old mom, my 62-year-old dad, my 30-year-old sister, and my 22-year-old little brother, Josh. Last year, I walked into our bedroom and found Megan crying. I sat beside her, tried to comfort her, and that's when she dropped the bomb: she was pregnant. At first, I was thrilled. I told her it was wonderful news. But then her expression shifted, and she hit me with something that shook me to my core: the baby wasn't mine. And then, she just left the room. Like that. At the time, I had started noticing she was glued to her phone way more than usual. With the whole COVID situation going on, I was the one handling everything at home: cooking, cleaning, taking care of our son. She gave birth to a healthy baby girl eventually, and yeah, the baby is adorable. Looks just like Megan. Fast forward to this past month. My younger brother Josh had been hanging around our house more than usual. I didn't think too much of it at first. He's my brother, after all. But something started feeling off. We'd spent 2 weeks recently at my parents' house, and during that time, I noticed Megan getting really cozy with Josh. Like uncomfortably close. And what made it worse was, even though I was the one supporting both families financially, managing my dad's stores and working as an investment banker, she was choosing to hang around Josh instead of my sister, who she used to be really close to. My sister seemed like she wanted to tell me something too, but when I pressed her, she just gave me a tight smile and said everything was fine. Then last week, my dad asked me to go fishing with him, just us two. Out on the water, he opened up about the time he used to spend with his own dad, told me how proud he was of me, called me a good son. And then he started venting about Josh, how he had no goals, didn't work, smoked weed, drank too much. He was clearly disappointed in him. My dad and Josh were never close, but my mom always had a soft spot for him. As we packed up to head home, my dad handed me a fishing kit and a small envelope. "Read it when you're alone," he said. When I opened it back at home, everything crumbled. It was a DNA test. The baby girl, she wasn't mine. I drove back to the house, walked straight in, and confronted both Megan and Josh. They admitted it. Said they were sorry. Said it had been going on for a year and that they were in love. Megan tried to explain that she knew she'd messed up, but there was no undoing it. She said she'd always be sorry, but claimed I hadn't been around enough, that I was a great dad, great husband, great son, but not a great lover. Then my sister spoke up. She said she'd known all along, but couldn't bring herself to tell me. And then my mom came in, holding the baby. She said it was too late to change anything, that the baby was here, and my son loved her like a sister. And since I was the older brother, I should forgive them all and try to move forward. I was stunned. How the hell was I supposed to forgive this? I looked at Megan and told her I wasn't going to fight for her, not against my own brother. I said she'd be getting divorce papers soon. Then I turned to Josh and reminded him of everything I'd done for him, how I'd supported him, helped him when he had nothing, and this is how he paid me back. After that I walked out. Since then, my phone hasn't stopped blowing up. Megan calls over 100 times a day. She says our son misses me. Josh hasn't reached out once. My sister texted me, saying she was sorry, that she should have told me, and that I'd always been her role model. I haven't answered anyone. My mom called, too. Said everyone makes mistakes, and if I wanted, we could be a family again. She even hinted that if I couldn't be there for the kids, Josh could step up. Then she warned me that she could complicate things for me in court if I pushed for custody. That was it for me. I blocked her. I haven't spoken to any of them in 2 days. I know divorce is expensive, but I don't care. That's where this is heading. I haven't told Megan's family yet. I haven't told anyone, really. I can't sleep. I can't eat. It's like in 1 week, my entire life collapsed. My wife, my kids, my own family, they're all gone. My dignity, too. Right now, I feel like there's no point to anything anymore. At least. I talked to a lawyer. So now, I'm officially in the process of filing for divorce. My lawyer told me straight up, it's not going to be easy. There's a good chance I'll be on the hook for spousal support, and getting full custody of my son is going to be an uphill battle. And even though I love my baby girl, even though she isn't biologically mine, disestablishing legal paternity is a whole different nightmare. That process takes time. A lot of it. Divorce is pricey around here. I'm staring down the barrel of about $1,900 a month in spousal support, for Megan and the baby. We're looking at 50-50 custody of our son and splitting everything we've built over the years. It's brutal. Oh, and one correction, I said DNA test earlier, but what I meant was a paternity test. It showed a 99% match between my daughter and Josh. That hit me like a freight train. Especially considering Josh was just 7 years old when Megan and I got married. Here's a quick update on where things stand now. I thought maybe, just maybe, things would settle with time. They haven't. They've only spiraled further. I left the house right after everything came to light, got my finances in order, talked to lawyers, and started pushing forward with the divorce. Last Friday, I got the official papers. Megan came by and we sat down to talk. She said she didn't want us to split, not for our sake, but for our son's. She admitted everything, owned up to the affair, and apologized again. But I wasn't swayed. I gave her the papers and made it clear, this divorce is happening. Then, and I still don't know what she was thinking, she tried to get close to me. I pulled back. Told her to leave. The next day, my sister, Claire, who had flown in from the Netherlands for a vacation, ended up leaving early. There had been some kind of blowout between her, Megan, and my mom. Later, Claire called me from the airport. She apologized. Said Mom had pressured her not to tell me about the affair. Apparently, Mom thought I'd spiral if I found out. Josh had leaned on her too, and she caved. So yeah, that helped put a few more pieces together. Doesn't make it any easier though. Some of you might think this all sounds made up. I wish it was. You can believe it, or not. I'm just here trying to survive it. Saturday, I spent the day with my son. Took him to a gaming arcade he's been dying to check out. We had fun. I told him, gently, what was happening. Turns out, he already knew. That crushed me even more. Meanwhile, Mom's been crying every day. Megan's just drifting. Doesn't seem to know what to do with herself. Josh? He's back to using, ignoring his responsibilities like always. Claire and I agreed, we're done with the family. We're not taking a cent of inheritance, not looking back. She even said she'd help me if I decided to move to the Netherlands after the divorce is finalized. And honestly, I'm considering it. The days are long. Too long. I've been physically sick more times than I can count. My blood pressure is a mess, my blood sugar's all over the place. I can't sleep. I can't eat. I can't even think straight most of the time. Yesterday, my dad called. Said Mom had a stroke during lunch. She collapsed right there at the table. He said the doctors don't know if she's going to make it. She wants to see me. And the doctors? They're telling us to pray. Right now, Megan's at the hospital taking care of everything. Josh stopped by briefly, of course. My son and the baby are there too. Dad told me. This could be it. Asked me to come. I told Claire. She's conflicted, just like me. A part of me wants to go. She's still my mother. But another part, the bigger part, can't forget what she did. She betrayed me. She sided with the people who destroyed my life. She stood by and said nothing while I was being stabbed in the back. Hell, she even warned me that if I tried to get custody, she'd testify against me. And now she wants to see me? I don't know what I'm supposed to feel. I'm not happy about any of this. I'm not sad either. I'm just numb. I think about ending everything more often than I should. I've tried therapy. All they do is nod and ask how that makes me feel. Waste of time and money. Some of our relatives now know what happened. Megan's affair isn't a secret anymore. My favorite uncle even confronted her in the hospital, yelled at her in front of everyone. My son had to calm him down. It's chaos. Friends keep telling me the same thing: finish the divorce, get out, start over. Maybe even find someone new, someday. But right now, I can't plan anything. I'm lost. I also talked to my lawyer again. He said that unless Mom has written a will, I still have a claim to the inheritance. If I refuse it or she formally cuts me off, that's different. But so far, that hasn't happened. Yet. I don't care about the money. I don't care about the inheritance. I don't even care about the rest of the family anymore. All I want is my son, just my son, so I can cut ties with this entire toxic mess and try to find some kind of peace again. The paternity stuff is going to be more complicated than the divorce itself. In a lot of places, infidelity alone doesn't automatically win you the case. But Megan being a stay-at-home mom? That might factor in. It could impact the way things play out for custody and support. If I give up my inheritance, there's a chance I might not have to pay spousal support, but that's only if we both agree to it. And right now, nothing feels certain. I'm still torn about my mom's condition. It's insane how much has unraveled in just 3 weeks. I don't think I've ever felt this low. The only reason I haven't done something reckless, the only reason I'm still breathing, is because of my son. Here's what happened next. Think of this as me just venting, or maybe confessing. I snapped. I tracked Josh down and confronted him. Physically. I beat the hell out of him. I know it's not something I should be proud of, but after everything, after he ruined my life, my marriage, my family, I couldn't hold it in any longer. If you haven't read my earlier posts, the short version is this: my wife had an affair with my younger brother. They had a baby together. They planned on me raising that child without even telling me the truth. And I found out way too late. Right now, I'm getting divorced, and I've filed several reports against Josh: vandalism, drug use, abusive behavior, all of it. I've also filed a legal case for alienation of affection, which is an actual thing where I live. If it goes through, he could get 2 years in jail. That would block him from traveling to any major country or working in any decent job. But legal punishment wasn't enough for me. He turned my own mother against me. He split our family in half. He wrecked everything I built. So yeah, I hunted him down 4 days before the cops caught him. He was hiding out, and when I found him, I didn't hold back. I didn't break anything, but I made sure he felt every bit of my pain. Despite everything, he's still my little brother, so I didn't go too far. But he ended up in the hospital. He couldn't report me. He knew if he opened his mouth, he'd be in handcuffs before he finished the sentence. I have people in my corner who wouldn't let that happen. So now he's lying in a hospital bed, under arrest, waiting to be taken into custody. Claire and I? We've completely cut ties with the family. Josh can keep everything. He can rot in that big empty house with all the money. I don't care. To me, he's a backstabbing coward who lived in our shadows his whole life, and when he finally stepped out, it was just to destroy us. I don't regret what I did. No comfort comes from it. But no regrets either. The only thing I do regret? That I can't go back in time to relive the moments that once made me feel alive. The family dinners. The little laughs. My son's first steps. Megan's smile before all this turned to poison. But hey, who am I to complain, right? And one last thing. Megan, if you ever read this, I want to say I'm sorry. Not for the anger. Not for the divorce. But for the ways I failed you as a husband. I wasn't always present. I let life get in the way. People say I'm a great father, son, husband, but I've always wondered if I was ever a great lover. Maybe if I was, you wouldn't have needed someone else. This year, it's the last time we'll spend New Year's together. Hell, it's the last of everything. Every holiday we used to love, it's all over now. Our marriage lasted over a decade, and now it's ending in silence, with our sons staring at both of us, wishing we'd make it work. But we both know, It's done. There's no going back. You need to heal from your demons, and I need to recover from your betrayal. You were the best thing that ever happened to me once. I can't pretend that didn't matter. Even now, buried under the pain, I still have some love for you. Or maybe it's just grief for the love that used to exist. Some days are unbearable. Others are just weird. I've been having horrible headaches, and my doctor's worried. He said if I don't get my blood pressure under control, I could have a stroke. But honestly, I don't care anymore. I think I'm already dead inside. The only thing that still stings is you. I know you're hurting too. I know you miss your parents. And I know they're disappointed in you, because of everything you did. I know you carry a lot of guilt for lying about our daughter's paternity. But you're still her mother, and someone both our kids will look up to for the rest of their lives. Maybe 10 years from now, we'll become the kind of co-parents who can sit at the same table without tension. Maybe you'll meet someone who loves you even more than I ever did. And maybe you'll love him, too. Honestly, the road we're on might end up being better for all of us, including you and me. Our son? He's trying to stay strong. He smiles, laughs, and tries not to show how much this divorce is tearing him up inside. I can tell. Today, he lit fireworks, wanted to take 1,000,000 pictures, anything to make memories with both of us before the divorce is finalized. He doesn't want to forget this version of us, even if it's falling apart. And look, I know what I did to Josh was violent. I know it crossed a line. But if I'm being honest, I don't regret it. He betrayed me in the worst way possible. I helped him when no one else would. I looked out for him. And he repaid that by stealing my family right out from under me. You can forget trauma. But you don't forget betrayal, not like this. I know you still have feelings for him. I can see it, even now. And I think you probably love us both in your own way. I'm not going to ask you to choose. I know you already feel guilty. But I hope you'll at least wait until the divorce is finalized, until I'm out of the picture, before making any decision about being with him. After that, do what you want. Be with him. Chase that life you think you deserve. And Megan, thank you for the memories. That's all I've got left to say for now. This is my story, my life, my truth, my reflection. I was born in 1981, during a time of growth, but also chaos and disarray. My country had only been around for about 10 years when I was born. My dad was a low-ranking officer. My mom, the daughter of a well-off landowner. When they got married, our family's fortunes shot up fast. We had land in one of the richest and busiest areas in the country. And being the eldest son on both sides of the family, all eyes were on me. I was the shining example. I studied hard, got top grades, something that stood out big time in the 90s. I became a role model to my cousins and siblings. Everyone loved me. Everyone except the one girl I truly wished had loved me back. In 1997, when I was 16, I met her. I fell hard. She was beautiful, smart, magnetic. We grew close, really close. But in 1999, she just stopped showing up to school. No explanation. A week later, her best friend gave me a letter from her. She told me she was moving to the US with her family. She thanked me for everything and said she loved me. Now, she's married with 3 kids, living a good life in the States. We talked again recently. It was surreal. A few years after that, I ended up taking a desk job, not my dream, but it paid well, and didn't require much hustle. I stuck with it. Along the way, I invested in real estate, played the stock market, built up a strong financial foundation. Now we own 14 apartment buildings in the city, 4 in my name, 10 under my mom's. We've also got shops and a market, and we're pretty well connected with local authorities and politicians. But all that success? It made my family soft. My little brother Josh got the worst of it. Mom spoiled him rotten. He never had discipline, never had to earn anything. Just got handed money and burned through it like it was nothing. I tried to talk to Mom about it, but she never listened. And to be fair, I probably played a role in enabling him too. He was my baby brother. I didn't want to see him struggle. In 2006, Mom introduced me to Megan. She came from a good family. We were financially stable. Dad had retired. Everything just felt like it lined up. So I said yes. We got married. Over the years, our relationship grew. She became part of our family, and they treated her like one of their own. She gave me a son. And I loved her even more for it. Everyone, especially my mom, adored our son. Then, in 2012, Claire moved to the Netherlands. It wasn't easy for her, but she stuck with it. Now she owns property there, has citizenship, and is waiting on a green card. Meanwhile, Josh kept spiraling. He turned into the family's biggest liability. We got call after call about his substance use, drinking, reckless behavior. I argued with Mom constantly, trying to make her see what she was enabling. But nothing changed. He even got arrested once. Things just kept getting worse. I had to step in when Josh got arrested. I talked to the officers, used every bit of influence I had. My name and our family's reputation helped smooth things over. But it was getting harder to juggle everything. Work demands were piling up. And at some point, we all stopped being young. We'd officially crossed into middle age. That youthful spark, the excitement of being married, it all started to fade. Life became a routine filled with stress. And somewhere along the way, I stopped feeling drawn to Megan the way I used to. My drive just vanished. Probably from the constant stress and pressure. 2 years after that shift, everything came crashing down. That's when I found out Megan and Josh were having an affair. And that the baby she gave birth to wasn't mine. Still, even knowing that, I couldn't bring myself to push her away completely. Not the baby. She's not my blood, but she's still a part of me somehow. Letting go of her felt impossible. But that moment? That truth? It was like a wrecking ball that smashed through everything, my marriage, my home, my family. Claire came back from the Netherlands and ended up cutting ties with everyone. Megan was devastated, but she'd known, deep down, that this day was coming. Mom had a massive stroke. Dad had already been emotionally distant for a while. And now? The home he built, it's just a pile of memories. Nothing more. My son felt it, too. He doesn't know all the ugly details, but he's smart. He knows a storm is coming. Despite it all, he's been calm, kind, and understanding, more than any kid should have to be. I'm proud of him. Beyond words. Megan's still clinging to hope. She's trying to save what's left of us. But it's over. We both signed the divorce papers. It'll all be finalized next month. She agreed to the terms. She'll get 20% of my income for 3 years, spousal and child support. I'll also pay child support for our daughter until she's 18. But she won't get any of our assets. They were all mine before the marriage. She's accepted that. As for the kids, I'll remain the legal guardian for our son until he turns 17. Megan will be the guardian of our daughter until she hits puberty. Then I'll take over as her legal guardian until she turns 18. Josh? He's still in jail, recovering from the injuries I gave him. He got a 1-year sentence, possession, misuse, and for sleeping with my wife. I don't feel good about any of it. But I don't feel bad either. I've talked with Megan's parents. With my dad. With my mom. They all say the same thing. It's up to me whether or not I ever want to try again with her. But I haven't even spoken to her since the paperwork was signed. Ending a marriage, it's a pain you can't describe until you live it. I loved Megan. I still do, in some buried, bitter way. But walking away is the only path forward. I have to heal. She has to face what she's done. Right now, my plan is to take my son to the Netherlands. Since I'm his legal guardian, I don't need Megan's permission. My mom's been trying to reconnect, but the damage is deep. I've been spending time with my uncle. He says I should consider giving Megan space, letting her change. But I'm not sure I have anything left in me to offer her. Mom keeps mentioning I should remarry. I haven't responded. I've already handed in my resignation at work. This chapter's closing, whether I'm ready or not. For years I dreamed of going to Mecca with my whole family. But now, my family is just me and my son. That's it. I won't be bringing anyone else. In a few years, when all the dust settles, I'll make that move to the Netherlands. I can't go yet, too many responsibilities here. But it'll happen. That's the plan. I don't even know if this whole story makes sense. My thoughts are scrambled. Everything's been so overwhelming. But if you've read this far, thank you for listening. I'm a mess today. Shaking hands. Nausea. I don't even know where to begin. It's Sunday. A day that used to mean family brunch, laughter, chores, lazy walks. But today marked the end. The divorce was finalized this morning. Almost 16 years. Done. It's strange, some part of me feels lighter, like a weight's been lifted. But another part feels like I've been hollowed out. I loved her. She was the second love of my life. And she's the same person who dropped me into my lowest, darkest place. I don't have the words for what I'm feeling. Here's the final custody arrangement. I'll remain my son's legal guardian until he turns 20. Megan will be our daughter's legal guardian until she reaches puberty. After that, I'll take over until she's married. She's only 10 months old right now, so for now, she stays with her mother. But eventually, she'll come home to me. I can visit my daughter anytime I want. Where I live, the birth certificate is issued after a child turns 1, so I'll be signing it when the time comes, claiming her as mine. I'll be paying spousal support to Megan for 3 years, and child support until both of our kids turn 18. It works out to about 20% of my income, which, once you convert it to US dollars, comes out to around $1,000 a month. The cost of living here isn't nearly as high as the States, so that goes a long way. Thankfully, I don't have to pay alimony. Just something similar to a traditional dowry. We call it Dean Mara, but it's not quite the same. I've also transferred one of my apartments into Megan's name. Not for her, but for our daughter. No matter how much hurts between us, I want my children to have a safe, comfortable home. I won't let them suffer because of what their parents did. Her family? They've cut her off completely. But her mother still talks to her, and her sisters have agreed to help with raising the baby. Megan and I spoke after the divorce went through. She looked exhausted, like she hadn't slept in days. She thanked me for the years we shared, and asked me for forgiveness. This time, I gave it to her. I told her I forgave her. We wished each other the best. Then we said goodbye. We were both broken. We both knew it was the right thing to do. Still, it hurt. I've resigned from my job. With everything my family owns, I don't need the salary. I've decided to take some time off. When I signed the final divorce papers, it was like this massive weight got pulled off my chest. For the first time in months, I could breathe. I'm going to visit my mom later today and spend the night at my own place. I once said I wouldn't date again. That I was too old. That my youth was behind me. I'm turning 40 this year. Most people start planning their retirement by now, thinking about what they'll leave behind for the next generation. Me? I feel like I'm starting over. On New Year's Day, I met someone, a friend's cousin. She's 29. She made a real impression. Turns out she's a therapist. The kind I'd been hoping to find for a long time. We talked. I saw her again on January 14th at a local festival. That night, we drank too much. Ended up in bed. I'm not proud of that. But since then, we've become friends. She told me her story. She was supposed to get engaged, but her fiancé passed away. It took her 7 years to move on. She tried dating, but nothing ever worked out. I guess we're both damaged in our own ways. Megan knows about her. We haven't talked about it. Or about how we feel. Everything's still so messy. The last 4 months have been like a whirlwind that flipped my whole life upside down. My son is growing up fast. I'm proud of the man he's becoming. I was planning to move to the Netherlands, but I've changed my mind. This is my home. This is where I was born. Where my ancestors lived and died. This is where my story is rooted. I want my son, and his son, to know that story. To know where they come from. I can't do that in a foreign land. The woman I've been seeing suggested we travel together, just for a break. I turned her down. Tonight, it's just me and a bottle of Jack Daniels. No plans. No noise. Just silence. I don't know what comes next. I'm not better. I'm not worse. I'm just here. Numb. Tired. And still trying to sleep through the nights without waking up in a cold sweat. I wish I could forget everything. Just close my eyes and make it all go away. I'm not sure I'll ever rebuild what was lost. Not with Josh. Not with my mom. Not with my dad. Not even with Megan. But I do respect her, as the mother of my kids. And I'll always try to be there for her when she needs it. Her father reached out, too. He apologized. Said he regretted not being a stronger influence in her life. Said maybe this whole mess could have been avoided if he'd been better. Some things, they're just out of our hands. We pour time, money, and emotion into people. We try. We hope. But in the end, they make their own choices. Sometimes those choices break us. To anyone who's gone through something like this, I see you. I respect your strength. Up until yesterday, I kept wondering if I did the right thing. If the divorce was a mistake. That question still circles in my mind. I still don't know the answer. I don't know if I'll ever get over what happened, or if I'll ever feel whole again. Tonight, my son's with my mom. I'm on my own. So here's to what lies ahead. Whatever that may be. Here's to the pain. And to everyone who's reached out, listened, or offered a kind word. This is my journey now. And I'm still walking it, one step at a time. I've been thinking a lot lately about how much has changed in such a short span of time, how violently everything in our lives got turned upside down. And you're right, my son has been through hell. He's had to watch me leave, cut ties with the only family he's ever known, discover that his uncle betrayed us, and lose the version of his mother he once trusted, all in just 4 months. That's not normal. None of this is normal. I wanted to believe he was handling it well. That maybe he was just mature for his age. That when he smiled, or stayed quiet, or helped keep the peace, he was showing strength. But now I'm starting to wonder if I mistook silence for resilience. Maybe I was so lost in my own pain that I didn't stop to see how much of his he was trying to bury. He's still a kid. He didn't ask for any of this. And the truth is, no matter how understanding he seems, no child is emotionally equipped to process trauma like this alone. Praising him for growing up too fast, it's not fair to him. It might even be harmful. I don't want to be the kind of father who mistakes survival mode for maturity. I don't want to be another adult who tells him, "You're doing great," when deep down, he's screaming and no one's listening. He deserves better than that. He deserves stability. He deserves a home that isn't built on pretending things are okay when they're not. And maybe, just maybe, he deserves the chance to break the cycle, so he doesn't end up repeating it when he's older. I know what generational pain looks like. I've lived it. I've watched it eat away at people I loved. And I don't want that for him. So I'm going to do better. I don't know how, not yet. But I'm going to figure it out. Therapy. Structure. Maybe even slowing down on my own need to start over and just being still for a while. Just being there for him. Because he's not a footnote in my story. He's not just a side character in my spiral. He's a person. He's my son. And he deserves a father who can see that. Really see that. I'm trying. I promise I'm trying.